what's up, y'all? Coming back to you with kind of a new top 10. We're going to do top 10 sports movies. Just today, we're going to do the top half of mine. We'll do Thunderbolts and Lightning a little bit later, and of course, finish the rest of them a little bit later. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. This is something interesting and new.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to get into this. We've been talking about this one for a minute. Obviously, guys, the video looks a little different today. We're sitting side by side. One of the cameras went down, of course, right before we started. So we're making do with what we got. I also do want to point out, because these lists are going to, for the most part, I don't know what's on yours and you don't know what's on mine. For the most part, though, I think we kind of made the agreement that we are not doing martial arts based movies. For the most part, there might be one or two kind of fight movies that slip in there. But we had figured at some point moving forward, we're just going to do an entirely separate video or video series. It'll be our top 10 favorite martial arts or fighting style movies. Because to be honest with you, if we were just doing top 10 favorite sport movies and we were counting fight sports, that's basically the same list I would probably have. So we'll do it after we get through all of ours as far as regular, just other sports and stuff goes. So for the most part anyway, but yeah, let's dive right in, man. Where are you looking? What do you see? I got sitting at number 10.
Yeah, man, number 10, man. So I just watched this the other night, D. I don't know if you remember it, man, but this movie came out in 1994. I think it was February of 94, and it was Blue Chips, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I actually heavily considered Blue Chips.
Yeah.
I really I would actually say that it probably would have ended up on my honorable mentions list, because I definitely considered it when I started my list anyway. I was thinking that was one of the ones that popped in there kind of at the front. So cool, man. That's a good choice.
Man, that's interesting, D. Especially being a hockey player, man. I'm surprised you like. Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool.
I got some pretty good mix of stuff on mine. There's definitely some hockey. Obviously, that's kind of my true love or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff. Decent variety, I would say, within mine. That's not just hockey based, but yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
Blue Chips. Do you know how it's been? I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've seen Blue Chips.
Okay.
But it's been a minute though. But man, me and my brother used to watch that shit all the time.
Really, man?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. My brother was big into the Jordan and the whole Bulls and stuff. That was our era, obviously, growing up and stuff. So my brother was big time into basketball.
I could see your brother being a baller, man.
My dad was. My uncles all were. Pretty much everybody in the family but me.
Yeah. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Kind of similar to like my ass in the straight, what do you call it? The black sheep, something.
Right. Yep.
Outcast of the family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, Blue Chips, brother. Of course, you already know, man, a little backside of this story. Oh, man, it's so interesting, Dia, watching it the other day. Of course, so it starts out towards the end of one of his seasons, and Nick Nolte, of course, plays the head coach, man. It does a fantastic job, man. Some straight Bob Knight action, brother.
Right.
Man, you already know, dog. Yeah, it's straight. I think it started out, man. Of course, it was a heated battle, and it was on the verge of his first losing season. And of course, they were losing to some good team that was tournament bound. And man, he was yelling with the ref, just like some Bob Knight action, man. He took the basketball and clong, punted it up into the stands.
Oh, man. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the ref's like, "No, you're out of here."
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. It is. Yeah, it's definitely been too long since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But man, so of course he's on the verge of his first losing season, and for whatever reason, and he's of course a historical coach for his school, had tons of banners, and I'm guessing he won 2 or 3 championships in the actual big dance, and for whatever reason they were struggling with recruiting. So of course you already know, D. They they cheat and go to the boosters so they could bring some of the top like McDonald All-American or top 100 players up in there, man. So of course you already know, man. He the first place he goes to, I think it's in Chicago, or no, it's in Philadelphia, and it's Anthony Hardaway, man, called Butch or something like that, man.
Right.
And of course he plays for a school that actually one of his kids he actually recruited for that actually plays for him already. And, man, if y'all know Anthony Hardaway out there, of course, 6'9" point guard.
Yeah.
Super fluid and a freakish athlete.
How long did he play?
Man, I couldn't tell you D off the top of my head. Um, I know he got hurt, man. So I'm gonna
Really?
guess maybe like 10 years, maybe if that,
Really?
maybe if that. But
I mean, he was a household name though,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Man, you already know some of those kicks, dog.
Oh yeah.
Man, speaking of those kicks too, man, they're coming out again. I think within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
No
The
shit.
first ones.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, man. But of course,
Cool.
Anthony Hardaway, man, good old Butch, man. They recruit him, and of course, his mama's like wants a house. Of course, they buy her a house.
Yep.
And man, speaking of that action, so Anthony Hardaway's in practice when, of course, he's in the school Nick Nolte coaches. And I think the school, of course, it's not a school that we know. I don't know, for licenses purposes or whatever. They use some fake school.
Right.
It's, I think, out in California, but it almost looks like UCLA based.
Right.
Yeah. The and after practice he comes in, he's like, "Coach, man, I'm starting to get homesick, man. I gotta go home." He's like, "It's all right. It's natural. It's natural. Everybody's gonna be fine." and of course he's like, "What I'm trying to say, coach, is if I leave, will my mom still have her house or whatever?" Of course, coach is just playing it off like he's still clean. Of course, you already know, man. Butch Anthony Hardaway's like, "Come on, coach. I know you know what's up. Can you call somebody?" So, of course, he calls the head dude that he went to get all the money to buy these players. And, of course, he's chilling, excuse my language, with a couple hoes outside the pool, man. You already know, man. He's like, "You tell that kid." Of course, he was hella heated, man. It's like, "Well, Butch, you better be at practice on Monday morning." All right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Man, so that was the first one. The second one was a kid from Indiana, man. The kid from Indiana is a big pimp. He loves hoes. He's like, "Man, coach, I kind of like women, man." Yeah, well, there's 60% women out at our school. Cool. And his pop's kind of a, no disrespect, kind of like a redneck out there. And I don't have take kind of to that Southern Baptist, you know what I mean, coach. I'm more of the Northern Baptist. He's like, "Oh, okay." Of course, just flowing with it. And they ended up buying him, I think, a new tractor or whatever. And that kid too, his son, man, goodness gracious, man. So after one of the practices when he was on campus with him, after they already pulled him in, he comes in when the coaches are having a coaching meeting, and of course it's all the coaches. There's like 5 of them, and he's like, "I just want to discuss some business with y'all. I was wondering if I could get 30,000 in cash in one of our sports bags." Of course, you already know Nick Nolte, Bob Knight. You get your ass. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way.
Oh man.
But of course, I end up giving him $30,000, whatever. Mandy, you already know, brother. This next cat, man, was Shaquille O'Neal. I forget his name. Shoot, man. I forget his dang name. But anyways, they stayed kind of legit with him, man. He was down in the swamp playing some ball, dog. Yeah, you already know, like a warehouse or something like that. Man, of course, he flies down to Louisiana, and one of his homeboys is kind of like a scout for him. It's like, "Man, you're gonna love this kid, coach. Man, he's never really even played. He went to the army or whatever, followed his parents, but he's now back on stage. You're gonna love this kid." All right. But he's like, "Man, you got to fly to get there." And man, it shows him. Of course, I'm sure you remember, D, but they fly and then they have to take a boat across the Mississippi, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, man. And man, they're out in like pretty much the swamp going through it. And of course, the scout's like, "Yeah, hell excited to go get it." And of course, the coach, "God damn it, you dragging me through this. This kid better be Jesus." Man, but of course, you already know, man, good old Shaq, man, doing his thing, man. And of course, they eventually pull him in. He didn't really want anything, but I think they gave him like a Mercedes or something like that. And Yeah, man, a good movie, man. And of course, what's interesting about it, D, from watching it the other night too, is the actual head booster guy says, "Don't you think we owe it to some of these athletes to give them a little bit of money here and there?"
Right. What's that joke? Do you ever see the God Ridiculous movie Basketball?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you remember that where they continue to make the joke about everybody knows Shaq got rich in college or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Ah, gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But of course, with what's going on with the NIL these days, from what that movie is about, now it's completely legal for everything now.
Yeah.
Man, it's so interesting.
It
Man.
is, man. And it's hard because, to be honest with you, we've talked about this a little bit. I'm a little bit torn. I'm a little torn on if I feel like the athletes should be getting paid or not in college and what that's
Okay.
going to do to sports. And obviously, they're working their ass off. And I fully understand that they continue these brands, the Alabamas of the world and stuff, right? These
Yeah,
teams that are
yeah.
making bajillions of dollars just off the namesake and getting put on the team and stuff like that. So I understand that the players are generating a ton of the revenue coming into the schools and stuff like that. It does just make me wonder, though, what's going to happen to the legitimacy of the sports. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? At
yeah,
that level, and
yeah.
again, to wonder, how much money are some of these kids going to be making in college versus pros, and is it going to keep kids in college longer? Maybe, which could be beneficial to the sport overall. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be crazy to see how this long term plays out with kids getting paid, which again, part of me is kind of like, most of them are, as far as I can tell, for the big name kids, the kids who are going to be getting paid, they're already getting full scholarships, right?
Yeah,
So like the
sure.
reality of it is, I don't know, man. That's already a lot to give. Some of these schools are 50, 60 plus $1,000 a semester and a year sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, they're already being comped hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition
Yeah.
to play. Like, what are we going to be doing, paying millions of dollars on top of that? Like,
Man, D, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm going to sit back. That's not going to bother the camera at all, is it, brother?
looks all right.
Slight sit back.
Nah, you look all right.
All right, cool, cool.
And even as far as endorsements and stuff go, I think that's another thing that, I don't know. I guess I have more or less, I don't have heartache with, and I don't know the full on rules. So if I'm out of bounds here, let me know, because I know you're probably more spun up on this than I am. But I don't have any problem with these athletes getting sponsorship type stuff, right? Like if somebody, a junior in college who's the top shit guy wants to sport Gatorade and get paid to do so, I get it. I just don't know if I feel like, the schools themselves, and I don't know if that's part of it, is the school paying the athlete beyond their scholarship and their stipend and whatever. Like, are they going to be making millions from the school, or is it all sponsorship?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know the full ins and outs, but
Gotcha. Man, I have no idea
Yeah,
how that works.
I don't know
man.
either.
Yeah.
guess we'll see.
Yeah. Man,
Interesting though.
Yeah.
And that was almost 30 years ago for that movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Because they've been doing it anyway.
Oh, shit. Probably since the 60s,
Shit.
70s.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If not before that, but
Yeah. As soon as there was money to be made on it, they started doing it.
yeah. Shit, man. Especially that battle that of course Nick Saban and that coach from Texas A&M just had straight called his ass out.
Yeah.
Oh, their whole team's bought for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Call it like you see it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh man. The only other thing I was gonna add from that, D, is of course is kind of still kind of messing with the integrity of the game, man. Is they one of those cats, one of his former players, by that same booster, man, almost like bought him out, so he was point shaving.
Right.
And then of course the coach caught it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, this, it would be worth noting this too. How many times have professional athletes been caught point shaving and, betting on themselves and whatever else and stuff like that? We're opening that door now in the college world, as far as if there's money to be made, who's going to say somebody's not going to show up to your door and say, I'll give you $10 million to throw the SEC championship,
Yeah.
Because some of them will.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Man, especially watching some of those playoff games and Super Bowls, man. You already know There's one game I can remember, especially kind of going to football here, man. But when I think it was when the Patriots won their last Super Bowl with Tommy against the Rams, and that AFC Championship game against Jacksonville, where Jacksonville was going to win, man.
Right.
And of course, they call just a man, just such a soft pass interference call in Jacksonville. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, yeah, you already know, man.
Yeah.
Of course, it makes you wonder. It's like, that's
Yeah,
kinda
there's always
obvious.
something.
Man, yeah, man. Good old blue chips, man.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that one again. It's been too long.
yeah, man. Man, on the very beginning of it, of course, he's he's in the locker room. Man, you all are stupid, get all. Gets super heated, tosses the water jug, clong, clong. Goes out, slams the door. So the assistant coach is okay, we're done here. Oh, super calm. Then he comes back in, clong, clong.
Yeah.
Man, you fucking. Yeah.
Nice.
Good old Nick Nolte. He did a good job with that, man.
That's cool you put that on there. Like I said, I was close to putting it on there. I didn't really think about you putting it on there, but I guess I
Yeah.
should have seen that one coming.
Yep. All right, give me a second, y'all. Got 2,000 pages worth of this shit. trying to find number 9. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Of course, you already know, D. And this possibly could fluctuate, man, because it's so brand new, man. It's super brand new.
Really?
It's,
Okay.
Barely had his cherry pop, dog. Yeah, dog. They had good old hustle, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you already know, D.
Cool.
And, I don't know.
I really enjoy, not to cut you off, but I also, again, for me not being a huge basketball fan, I did check this out the other night. You told me to watch it. Loved it, man. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Another good Sandler movie.
Man, good old Adam Sandler. Of course, we were talking the other day, man, how he's been such a comedian. Of course, love all
Right.
his comedian movies. And him kind of the last couple or 3 movies that he's done, he's taken more of a serious
Yeah.
role.
It's kind of like he's probably getting to do what he wants to do now, what he's
Yeah.
expected to do. And they've been good, man. They've been really good.
Yes, I agree.
I agree with you on
Yes.
this one. This is a really good movie.
Yeah, man. Of course, for y'all that don't know out there, if you haven't seen this, man, I completely recommend going to watch this. It's on Netflix right now. It just came out 2 weeks ago, I believe. And man, of course, Adam Sandler, he's a scout, and he's an NBA scout for the 76ers. And what's cool about it is they keep everything pretty authentic. Maybe not necessarily like the owners and coaches. Oh, shoot, even the coaches, they do. But
Yeah.
man, with the Sixers, of course, he's been doing it for 30 years as a scout, and he's trying to be an assistant head coach or whatever. Long story short, he ends up finding this cat that's overseas that actually real life used to play for the Denver Nuggets. He got drafted by him, I think, in 2016. But Juancho Hernan Gomez, I'll just call him Juancho.
Is he actually from Spain?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the way they portrayed it in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's from Spain.
Cool.
But oh man, it's a great movie and a great story. And of course, I don't know if it's completely true life, but it seems kind of on par of how
Right.
especially some of them foreign cats get discovered, man.
Right. Well, one of the things I really liked about the movie, personally myself, was it showed a lot of everything, right? It showed this balance between the ownership of the team, the coaching of the team, the recruiting for the team, and how they work together, how they butt heads with each other, how they,
Yeah. Yeah.
Adam and and I don't want to give too much away in case you guys haven't seen it, so I'm not going to go into the full on what happens in this movie, but him kind of doing that and struggling with that, and like you said, being in that position for so long and having to travel all the time, and it's kind of cool because it kind of shows that like as much of us, would think like, what a dream job. He's to the point where
Yeah.
he's like, I fucking hate this. Like, I don't want to be on the road. I hate this. I want to coach. Like, he's been working so hard for it. And it's just, there's layers and layers and layers. There's the player development. There's his character development. There's, the changing with the team as far as the ownership side of it goes. Cause the old man dies, then the son takes over and he's a fucking dick. And,
Yeah.
just a really, really cool, multifaceted, multi-layered story that they were able to piece together. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. The only other thing, I guess, without giving too much of it away, man, is what I'll add, man, especially for my ass relating to it, man, is I truly believe this, man. In sports as in life, of giving 110% for the most part, especially if you want to succeed in
Right.
anything you're doing. Um, man, so I truly believe, especially my coach, my head basketball coach back in high school, man, which is so interesting, D. So coincidental. He got at me out of the blue
Really?
yesterday, man.
Really?
And I haven't heard from him in like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Was in. I was like, what the? Oh, damn. Okay, that's interesting.
Cool.
Good old Coach Baker, man. If you ever run onto this, man, much love, man.
Nice.
Coach Baker was the foundation for me as a human being, so I appreciate you, man.
Nice. A lot of coaches are.
Yeah. But yeah, man, so I believe, and he taught me this too, man. So of course with the 110%, that the game as in life is 75% mental and 35% physical.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of portrays that. So this cat, man, a super good basketball player, but of course everybody's got that one possibly thing that they need to work on, and he struggles with people shit talking to him.
Right.
And I'll be absolutely honest, I was like that when I was younger, and I still kind of am. And man, of course, one of his teammates, that's one that plays the bad guys, that used to be his teammate for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Of course, you already know, started talking shit to him. And before that, he was straight just balling them.
Right.
But of course, he got in his
Yep,
head.
rattled
man.
him. Yep.
Yeah, fucked him up. And Adam Sandler, being such a good coach, man, recognizes that. And so puts that into their training. So it ain't no thing when it actually happens.
Yeah, he's talking mad shit.
Yeah.
Talk shit about his mom even. Damn.
Yeah, man. But yeah, good movie, man. Good movie.
Really good one. That's a good pick.
Yeah, man.
Solid. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Was there anything else? I think that was about it.
That one's kind of hard because you don't want to give everything away.
Yeah. Well,
go check that one out, guys. That one's
Yeah.
good. Like I said, even for me, not being a huge basketball fan, that was a damn good movie.
Yep. Let's see here. So that was 9. See if I can find 8. Oh, yeah. Of course, you've seen this, D. I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen this one, man. But good old, this movie came out in August 2006, man. Of course, right in the heart of the season, Invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah, man, with Mark Wahlberg, brother, where he tries out for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the 70s with Dick Vermeil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, so, and of course, I'm sure you all have seen this. For some of you that haven't, man, which is so freaking cool, man. I forget specifically what the reason is, but back in, like, I think the early 70s, see if I look this up, 70s. Yeah, so 76 or 75, they actually had a tryout for civilians from the Philadelphia Eagles for whatever reason. Maybe to bring more fans in because they were struggling. That's what the movie portrays.
Nice.
I don't know for sure.
I'll throw you a small riddle. There's a movie on my list that has some similar ties to finding some civilian asses.
God, nice, dog. Cool. Nice, cool. Man, so, man, one of the cats, man, was an Italian man that was 30 years old, man. And he ended up, of course, making the team from it, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, they should do that again.
Yes. That's so badass, man. And this cat, of course, his name was Vince Papali, man. He, at the age of 30, man, you already know, man, especially for your football players out there. D-Mac, if you're watching this, you already know. Commando, you already know, brother. This cat at the age of 30 ran a low 4.5, high 4.4. Man.
Without pulling anything? I'd have blown out my whole leg and my ass.
Yeah, dog. Of course, like some old school Chuck T Converses out on the football field.
Shit.
Man. Yeah. But yeah, man, a great movie, man. One of my favorite coaches of all time. Of course, you all know I'm a huge Broncos fan, but got mad love and respect for some of the coaches out there. But good old Dick Vermeil, man.
Right.
Man, D, and I'm sure you're familiar. Of course, man, Dick Vermeil, man. He's such a compassionate coach, man, and he loves his players, man. He loves his players as like all of his sons, man.
Right.
Man. Yeah, kind of get goosebumps talking about good old Dick Vermeil. Man, he gets so compassionate, man. He gets emotional, man. So he starts crying because he cares about the game and he cares about his family and his kids, man. But Dick Vermeil was their coach. Yeah, dog. They ended up playing him and starting him at the gunner position on both the punt team and the kick team, and he ended up actually scoring one touchdown.
Nice.
Of course, the movie portrays him in an actual game or playoff game, but he did not. He in the how they portray it, they said that they couldn't advance like a punt. They couldn't advance, especially when they blocked it. Yeah, they couldn't advance it.
Okay.
So, yeah, they said he scored a touchdown though in preseason.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Shit, more than we can say.
Heard that. Heard that, man. Yeah. And
That's cool.
yeah, not a whole lot else to add to that, man. Just a good movie, man. Of course,
You can't go wrong with Marky Mark, man.
yeah, good old Marky
God, I
Mark.
love Mark Wahlberg movies.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Of course, he was before that. He was a substitute teacher and a bartender, and then, of course, playing for the Philadelphia
Hell
Eagles.
yeah, nice.
And I think he played for him for 3 or 4 years, man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Man, what? Go ahead. D.
I was just
Sorry
gonna
about
say, I was gonna say again that I just they should do that, you know. But then I was thinking, did you ever watch the show Joes versus Pros?
Oh, yeah.
But again, you know
Yeah.
they weren't taking Joes that were of caliber to be competing with pros. But you know, there's people out there who just even the Kurt Warner movie was a good example of that, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, somebody
Yeah.
with all-star talent and potential and stuff just hasn't hit the mark yet, and you know, got pushed beyond the college realm and is, you know, working in a grocery store or something like that, you
Yeah.
know, still has the skill sets, the strength, the agility,
Yep.
speed. I mean, just any, you know, and for every sport too.
Yeah.
You know, I always
Yeah.
wonder, and I've always laughed about this. It's funny to think that like you may have been the absolute best something that you never tried, right?
Yeah.
Or that you never got a chance to do. Like, how do you know you're not the world's best whatever? Because you never tried it or because you weren't interested in it or whatever. But, you know, you got to think there's people out there who have, you know, either missed opportunities or,
Yeah.
you know, just didn't have a chance to go beyond what the scope of maybe their college ball was or high school ball or whatever. And, you know, even coming off of an injury, I think a lot of times the injury will shut your career down that you then recover from 3-4 years later that you really, I mean, if you got back in the swing of things, you probably could still compete at the next level,
Yeah.
you know, with the right amount of time and training. But obviously, you know, there's situations you got to work and make money and support a family and do all kinds of shit. So it gets in the way, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to think of that. And it's really cool to see stories like that where somebody who didn't come, you know, this kid straight out of high school and he's going pro, or this kid was the, you know, top shit pick from college and now he's, you know, the top shit pro or whatever. It's cool to see that
Yeah.
somebody can just kind of come from, you know, somewhere in Ohio or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, speaking of that too, D, especially on the not necessarily the hardwood, but on the out in those parks, man, especially in New York, man, Chicago.
Oh yeah,
Some of
like
those
I used to
bars,
watch, man. Here's the other thing too. Again, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I used to love playing like NBA Street and some of those games on you know, the PlayStation or whatever and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But like, I used to find myself watching those like Rucker games, those Rucker basketball games at Rucker Park.
Yeah.
There was just mad street ball.
Yeah.
I was like, how are these fools not in the
How?
pros, man? Like,
Yeah.
and you'd see every once in a
Yeah.
while a couple of pros, and big ups to them, would get the, you know, a big enough sack to go out there and play with some of these boys, and
Yeah.
some of them would fucking get their ankles broken, man.
Yes. Yes. Man, you already know too, D. One of speaking of this, man, you asked me who one of my favorite basketball players ever was, and of course I told you Steph Curry and Michael Jordan, man.
Right.
Man, I completely forgot somebody, man, and I might have told you in between from then and now, but White Chocolate, man, Jason Williams, man,
Nice.
and he pretty much was one of those street ballers, man, that did make
Right.
it, man, into the NBA.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and shoot, D, you're probably familiar with this too, man. And one more thing to give it back on that Hustle movie. The professor, he's called that white cat, man. That's hella good with his handles.
Yeah.
Was teaching homeboy, man,
Yeah.
how to handle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, man. Yeah. I guess the only other thing, man, I'll add about, of course, Invincible movie and relating to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Of course, always been a Broncos fan, man. But one of my favorite football players, man, was Randall Cunningham, man.
Nice.
Back in the mid-'80s, of course. And I believe he completely, And there probably was some cats before that, maybe like Roger Staubach and some other old school cats, but probably very few men that re-evolutionized the version of playing quarterback.
Right.
But man, watching that dog, and I remember watching him one time, man, and they were kind of having a down season, but it was just fun as hell to watch him play, man.
Yeah.
And man, one of the announcers like, and Santa Claus is getting booed by all the fans. It's the only city that'll just boo Santa Claus.
Yep. Well, that's funny too, because they crack that joke in that Hustle movie, because they're out of Philadelphia, right? And they're talking about how like Philadelphia sports fans are like they're greatest, but they're the meanest or whatever.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
That's funny.
Man. Yep.
Cool.
Mandy, how are we doing on time, brother?
I think we got about 10, 15 minutes. We're good.
Okay.
You got what, 2 left? What was that? 10, 9, and 8?
Two left. Yep.
Yeah, we can get 7, 6 in here.
Okay. The this other one, man, it's another Gridiron movie, and came out in September of 2006, man. And of course, your boy, man, I love this cat, man. I feel like he took the place of Arnold Schwarzenegger in action-packed movies, but featuring The Rock, the Gridiron Gang.
Nice.
Yeah, man. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are familiar with this movie too, man. But man, this was kind of super early in The Rock's career, man. When he was shortly done with, maybe 4 or 5 years after he was done with college football, maybe a little after. I'm not sure. But The Rock plays a worker at a juvenile detention center.
And this is based on a true story, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Yep. Man, so he works at a juvenile detention center, and he wants to get a football program started for these kids just to help them out through life and in their position at that moment. And man, you already know too, the owner or the boss that runs the juvenile detention center is Sam Witwicky's pops.
Yeah.
And the other worker that works with The Rock, Exhibit.
Yep.
Man, which I thought the Exhibit did a phenomenal acting job with him, man.
I always liked all the stuff he was in.
Yeah.
Even stupid ass Pimp My Ride.
that was badass, dog. Still to this day, man. It's like, man, this look pimp. Yeah, you already know. Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, this it's got a good message too, especially.
Yeah, it's a real good story.
Man, of course, just helping kids out, man, especially kids from the streets or whatever, man. And of course, all different types of kids are in that situation, and like Bloods and Crips. And
Yep. Having them have to work together for a common goal. Yeah.
It shows how they come together, man, and doesn't make a difference of what you claim in. Yeah, it's
amazing the impact that sports has on people and on your brain, just all that stuff. You got to think, you can take 2 rival gangs that spend years and years shooting each other, killing each other, hating each other, like just hating the color that somebody else wore, which, in terms of like sports, like even the other day, I remember somebody came up was wearing an adversarial team apparel, and you're like, nah.
The man was wearing Utah.
Yeah. Whatever. And it's kind of the same thing, so to speak. Obviously, you're not out there, dropping shells or anything, but still, you know what I mean? But it's really interesting to see that you can put them in a similar situation together as teammates and winning a game that ultimately has no real payoff, right? Like the win is the win. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The win doesn't come with anything. It doesn't, there's a commercial going on right now during the Stanley Cup playoffs. They keep playing that. They keep showing everybody holding up the Stanley Cup and how great it is. And they keep talking about like, you get your name on it, but you don't get to keep it.
Yeah. Gotcha, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's incredible that sports can have that effect on people who literally wish death on each other, and they can come together just to get a fucking win.
Yeah, man.
It's incredible.
Yeah. By the way, man, congrats to your boys last time, man.
We got one. We're up there.
6'2", dog.
That's what we do with that. I ain't worried yet. Got
down to 33 feet above elevation and sea level, dog.
Yeah, took them back to sea level. All right. Even the playing field.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. I wasn't worried. They've gone 0-2 in a handful of series already, and then come back and been just fine. So
ain't no thing.
Nah, we're all right.
Cool.
Go Bolts.
Yeah, nice. Then not too much left to say about you. Pretty much hit on all of that, man. That's
a good ass movie. Yeah, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, man. The of course you already probably said, man. Of course, installed installs discipline, man, which
Yep.
of course the Young Bucks have never had or
Yeah.
anything, and to respect authority. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
man.
the stuff that they stand so hard against as kids in those situations, you know?
Yeah,
And it's not even just this story. There's countless stories of these types of programs being put in to those neighborhoods and stuff to help keep kids from selling drugs and shooting at each other. Like, let's have some competition. Let's learn some skills and, you know, get into sports. Sports is so big. I don't think people really truly understand the value of sports, and at every turn, whether we're talking martial arts, football, basketball, hockey, I mean, hand-eye coordination, speed, just the physical health, the mental health, brain health. I mean, you know that as well as anybody. Even to this day and age, where we're beyond the scope of playing competitive for the most part sports, right? We're not on teams and stuff, but like you still go shoot hoops. You know, I jump on an intramural, whatever team here and there. Like it's just good for you.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely,
It's
man.
incredible.
Man, to add to that too, you hit on that once again, D. Something reminding me, man, is of course, and you already know, D. I'm not gonna go too much into detail on this, but it reminds me of a situation that I'm familiar with of how kids get to channel their anger in a more positive note.
Yep.
And then of course their sadness or even their fear. Just the coaches teaches them how to channel it. And,
I'll be honest too, and this may piss some of you off. I don't give a fuck. This whole thing that got started a handful of years ago, I think, has been one of the most detrimental things to youth sports. Is this idea that everybody wins, right? Like, one of the most important values that sports can teach you is sportsmanship and losing, and you know, having a hard go at stuff. Like, and I think that like taking that idea out of it, because too many parents were worried that their kids' feelings were hurt after not having a good game, or like, we don't even keep score at this game. Like, I'm keeping fucking score, and I'm going to tell you who the fuck won. Like, that's ridiculous to me. Like, when I was a kid growing up, if we got beat, it meant we needed to get better. If somebody was skating faster than me and I couldn't keep up with them, I needed to put in more work. It wasn't like, well, I just have to be sad about myself because I suck. Like, you know,
with mediocrity.
yeah, man. This whole idea of just being baseline with everything, like it's setting a bad example. And you know, it's one of those where I get like there's a fine line obviously in this day and age between the parents being psychos about their kids and why the fuck isn't my kid getting enough playing time, about, well, spend some more time at home with them practicing, like help them get a little better. Like, you know, you don't have to take it out there and then parents fighting each other over little league shit. Like, keep your shit in line. You know, these people need to get a hold of their emotions, in my opinion. But it's just sad to me that it's kind of kids sports these days. They're losing what to me is some of the most important lessons that sports provides. Right now, it's more just like, well, if they're out running around, they're being healthier. Yes, they're being healthier, but they also need the brain health. They need the competition. They need to feel victory. They need to feel defeat. They're not going to get every job they apply for. They're not going to get into every school they apply for. They're not always going to have stuff go their way. And if they start learning early on what it's like to lose, it's a lot easier later on, right? Like, it's just, those are just life lessons. You can find all this stuff within sports, but parents, of course, are just muddying the waters with their crybaby bullshit.
Yes. Man, you just hit on that too, D. Especially with kids that have grown up in a pretty good situation where they've never faced adversity.
Right.
And then just what you added, man, if they face adversity, they don't know what to do. They panic. Oh, what the fuck?
We had coaches back in the day that when we started getting too cocky about being good or whatever, being the best team or whatever, having a really good record, boy, they'd send our ass to play a team that we had no chance of beating. And we would get throttled.
Colorado?
Oh, straight, man. Oh, we did okay in Colorado. We went to Nebraska a few times and had a rough go.
Nebraska, that's
interesting. But it was against like junior level teams. We weren't a junior level team. We were just like a regular A team, right? So stuff like that, though, it was like, these boys are getting too cocky, so let's go humble them, get their asses kicked. Like, yep, okay, we're back to square one. There's always room to grow, you know what I mean? So I don't know, take it for what it is, but I like your pick though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man, another thing that I'll add about that, brother, is I'm sure this coach did it too, man, and I'm sure you've had coaches like this too, D, and I'm sure you all have coaches out there, man, that just fully engage with their players, man, even their coaches.
Yep.
Of course, I feel when a kid sees their coach being fully engaged, like whether it's wind sprints or out there on the basketball court or even out there on the hockey court blasting somebody or whatever, like, okay, man, I see that. That's what's up, man. He truly cares, and he's out there doing the grind with us.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Round her out. What do we got at number 6?
Let's see here. Okay, 6. Oh man, I just watched this the other night, 2D, and man, I forget. I didn't write down what year this came out, but early 2000s, I think. But the Blind Side, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have much time, man, so I'll kind of make this kind of quick. But of course, it's about a movie about Michael Orr. He played for the Baltimore Ravens. I think he played for the Tennessee Titans, but he was a right tackle, I believe. He was a left tackle in high school. I think so. I'm not completely positive on that, but this movie's about, of course, a big ass dude. I'm guessing he's probably 6'7", 325 around there.
Yeah, at least I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. He of course grew up in a rough situation, man. His mama was a crack whore. His pops ended up passing away. He had like 12 brothers here and there, man. He was
Right.
living on the streets, and this cool ass family, man. I think it was in Tennessee. They took him in and eventually adopted him.
Right.
And the pops actually played basketball at the University of Ole Miss. The wife was a cheerleader there. Long story short, he ended up going to play for Ole Miss, and of course never played football or never even played sports. And they show the beginning of the movie, him moving and playing basketball, man, for a big man. Super quick feet, man. Straight feet like Shaq.
Nice.
And one of the dudes that was kind of looking after him a little bit here and there was explaining to the coach, and the coach's eyeballs, holy shit, we're going to win state. But yeah, man, a good movie, kind of had a good message too,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Yeah,
Another
man.
good one, man. And the reality of it too is if you think about like, everything behind that is he had every opportunity in his life to fail, right?
Yeah,
Comes from a really bad situation, and all it took was a friendly face and a little bit of opportunity, right? A friendly
Yeah.
family and some opportunity, and this guy was able to succeed. And I think that's an important message, I think, even to today, because you're right, this is, almost 20 years ago prior for this movie, but and it being based on a true story and stuff too. It's incredible what it can do and what, impact and effect these just sports can have, and having the opportunity to try them, and made a whole life for himself,
yeah,
just a little bit of opportunity, and, some people that were willing to do the right thing. And that's really cool.
yeah, man. The one of the other things I'll mention, man, the family had a littler young buck, man, and I'll be honest, man, I'm not trying to just kind of how my ass relates a little bit, man, too. Of course, why I chose this, man, but my ass got along with young bucks, and I still do to these days, man. Of course, being at the Creature Horn for 2,000 years, man, I like those younger bucks, man. They're cool as hell. Can relate with them, can speak with them. But yeah, man, there's like a little young buck that's only like 7, 8.
Right.
Big Mike, what's up, Big Mike? Of course, Big Mike, man, he's the same way. Yeah, little man, what's up, little man? Not that ghetto, but yeah, man, they have a good relationship, man.
Yeah.
A good bond, man. But yeah, man.
Cool.
Not too much left to say about that movie, but yeah, it's a good movie, man.
Dog's freaking out. Somebody must be here.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear that. Go ahead and round us out. The dog's losing her shit.
Yeah. Want me to go ahead and
Yeah.
go ahead. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all joining for the top half of the top 10. We'll catch y'all later for the next half of the top 10 and Thunderbolts and Lightning as well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
See you.